Hi, this is Brendan from Watto Training, and in this presentation we take a look at the TLI 41318, Certificate 4 in Transport and Logistics, Road Transport Heavy Vehicle Driving Instruction. This presentation is specifically designed for Queensland applicants. What is covered in this presentation? Firstly, an outline of the basic information for the qualification. For specific information about the Higher Level Skills Program funded by the Queensland Government, please contact Watto Training. However, the information about the course is still relevant in this presentation. Is the TLI 41318 a nationally recognised qualification? Yes, this qualification is recognised in all states and territories. Please see your state or territory government website for specific requirements. The eligibility criteria. In Queensland, you must have held the relevant class of licence for at least 12 months. This includes a valid interstate driver licence or a valid driver licence granted in New Zealand. A valid licence means a licence that is not expired, suspended or cancelled, and the licensee is not disqualified by an Australian court from holding or obtaining a driver licence. Applicants must produce photo identification, undergo a police history check, a driving history check, and a medical check if required. These checks are completed by the Department of Transport and Main Roads. Queensland Transport and Main Roads may refuse to grant accreditation to a person who has been convicted of an offence under the Criminal Code or is currently charged with an offence under the Criminal Code and the charge has not been fully disposed of. The requirements for driver trainer accreditation fall within the Transport Operations, Road Use Management Accreditation and Other Provisions Regulation 2015. Please see the Transport Main Roads website for specific details regarding your eligibility. If you have any specific questions or concerns regarding your eligibility to be a driver trainer, please contact Transport Main Roads. Let's take a look at the core units for TLI 41318. Maintain business records, provide work skill instruction, design and develop learning programs, apply safe heavy vehicle driving behaviours, follow work, health and safety procedures, apply fatigue management strategies, implement and supervise transport regulations compliance systems, work in a socially diverse environment, apply customer service skills, complete induction to the transport industry, manage professional work priorities and professional development, conduct heavy vehicle learner-driver training, develop safe heavy vehicle driving behaviours in others, and complete one industry elective unit. So we've got drive light rigid vehicle, drive medium rigid vehicle, drive heavy rigid vehicle, drive heavy combination vehicle, and drive multi-combination vehicle. If, for example, you qualify for the drive multi-combination vehicle, TLI 41006, it would automatically qualify you for all of the lower classes as well. Can I do the assignments online? Yes, the theory assignments are completed online. Watto Training does not deliver face-to-face training for this theory. We will supply you with all the learning guides as well as YouTube training videos to help you work your way through the assignments. Where do I do the practical assessment? Vehicles can be supplied for practical assessment in Brisbane. Can I do the assessment in the workplace? Watto Training can conduct assessment in the workplace and or in vehicles supplied by the applicant or their employer. But this is assessed and decided upon a case-by-case basis as a criteria must be met. Please contact Watto Training for more details. Can practical assessment be conducted in regional areas? Watto Training can conduct regional assessments on a case-by-case basis as a criteria must be met. Please contact Watto Training for more details. Does my driving need to be up standard? You are expected to be a competent driver. This is an instructor course, not a refresher driver course. If you can't drive any vehicle to standard, a number of options will need to be explored. Option 1, get more training, practice privately or professionally, and be reassessed at a later date. Option 2, get qualified in a lower class that you are confident in driving. Road Ranger. Some applicants have unrestricted licenses but can't drive a Road Ranger. We won't qualify you for the Road Ranger unless you 1. hold the unrestricted license. 2, can drive a road ranger to the required standard. And 3, can teach the road ranger to the required standard. Let's take a look at the requirements for the driving assessment. First of all, you'll be required to do vehicle checks, leaks, panels, lights, windows, wipers, wiper blades, number plates and L plates, as well as tyre checks. Then we have the under the bonnet checks, engine oil, coolant, brake fluid, washer fluid and battery. Pre-drive checks, vehicle entry, seat adjustment, steering wheel adjustment, seat belt, mirrors, horn, indicators, headlights, washers, wipers, exhaust brake, hazard lights, demister and air conditioning. What on-road skills do I need to demonstrate? Applicants need to demonstrate higher order skills involving broad cognitive, technical, communication and vehicle management. This includes knowledge about hazard perception, risk control and safe driving behaviour, judgment, decision-making and multitasking that builds on basic driver licence requirements as a nominated heavy vehicle class and driving situation. What operational skills do I need to demonstrate? Ancillary controls, clutch control, accelerator, gear changing, steering, braking, road position, cornering and bends. What hazard recognition and decision-making skills do I need to demonstrate? Observation and scanning, shoulder checks, mirror checks, signalling, identifying and managing traffic hazards. Continued, judgment, safety margins, signs, signals, markings, progress and speed. What manoeuvres do I need to demonstrate? Hill start. The candidate is required to move safely from a stationary position and travel up a moderate incline without rolling back. Gear change requirements. MR/HR/HC. With the vehicle in motion travelling along a road with a level surface or slight incline, change down the gears to a lower gear, excluding crawler gears. The highest gear in the lower range is sufficient where the gearbox has a dual range. On vehicles fitted with 5 or 6 speed gearbox with constant mesh in first gear and synchro the remainder, applicants are only required to change down to second gear with the vehicle in motion. If the gearbox has a facility for splitting gears, the applicant may be asked to split gears while changing up during this exercise. If the automatic gearbox has a facility for downshifting, the applicant will be asked to downshift to a lower gear. Reverse around a corner, LR, MR, HR. The candidate is required to reverse around a corner, staying within approximately 2 meters from the curb and parallel. I've just outlined some of the assessment criteria on those dot points as well for you to have a quick look at. If you wish, feel free to pause the slideshow at any point in time. Okay, here's an example of the left-hand reverse. The vehicle has come around the corner. And here's a pictorial view of that. If you just work through the panels, you can see that demonstration being conducted. This is the right-hand reverse where the vehicle reverses across the corner. This is not done on a daily basis at the Transport Department, but it's still part of the criteria, so best to prepare people for it. Straight line reversing, HCMC. Select a quiet area where there is good visibility and plenty of road space with a minimal risk of inconveniencing other road users. Select a straight road where the applicant demonstrates driving ability by reversing in a straight line for approximately 40 to 50 meters. Uncoupling a HC or MC vehicle. Excuse me. The candidate is required to demonstrate an appropriate level of knowledge and skill in performing this exercise. Note, if the vehicle is fitted with airbag suspension where necessary, operate air dump valve to prevent any damage to the vehicle. The candidate should demonstrate the correct sequencing for uncoupling. Apply park brake, secure wheel chocks if vehicle is not fitted with spring brake system, lower trailer / drawbar, support legs, disconnect / retract electrical cable, hydraulic lines, chains where applicable, brake hoses, release turntable jaws, pin coupling. Drive prime mover forward approximately 25 meters. Recoupling for the HCMC vehicle. The candidate is required to demonstrate an appropriate level of knowledge and skill in performing this exercise. The candidate should demonstrate the correct sequence for recoupling. Ensure pin coupling jaws are in the correct position for recoupling. reverse prime mover / truck back towards the trailer. You can stop and check the position of the prime mover / truck in relation to the trailer coupling. Where applicable, activate valve to refill airbag suspension. After you have coupled the prime mover / truck and trailer, check that all the mechanisms are locked by, attempting to carefully ease forward against the trailer brakes, tug test, visually checking the coupling to ensure locking pin jaws have engaged after first applying the park brake. Connect and check the condition of brake hoses, hydraulic lines, electric cables, chains if applicable. Wind up trailer supports and lock in position or secure drawbar leg. Start engine and build up air pressure to operating level. Turn the engine off and walk around the vehicle listening for air leaks and checking the condition of all tyres. Remove wheel chocks if appropriate. Check trailer and foot brake stop lights, turn indicators and the sound of the horn. This is done to ensure correct functioning of the electrical system. An additional tug test should be conducted on the trailer brake at low speeds after recoupling. Instructing skills assessment outline. How will my instructing skills be assessed? You'll be required to demonstrate your ability to carry out training sessions involving demonstrating and instructing particular work skills, with each session addressing different learning objectives and a range of delivery techniques and effective communication skills appropriate to the audience. You will need to demonstrate your ability to teach heavy vehicle learner drivers from diverse backgrounds. You are required to prepare, explain, demonstrate, monitor and maintain safe heavy vehicle driving skills in heavy vehicle learner drivers. This includes preparing a learner for driving, explaining driver training outcomes, demonstrating required skills, monitoring and maintaining safe driving skills, interpreting and applying road rules, debriefing learner driver, identifying hazardous situations, and implementing contingency plans. You need to be able to demonstrate your ability to instruct the following to the required standard. So this is a repeat of what we had in the driving section, but now you're conducting these as a trainer. So vehicle checks, under the bonnet checks, pre-drive checks, vehicle operation skills, hazard recognition and decision-making skills, and maneuvers as well. Hill start, gear changing, reverse around the corner, reverse in a straight line, and the uncouple, recouple. So instructional tips. Keep it simple and focus on what matters. Don't let yourself be overwhelmed. Confucius. Be concise. To be concise means the instructor presents the information clearly in as few words as possible without skimping on the content. Make every word count. Be clear. To be clear means the instructor doesn't complicate the message. Break the information down into bite-sized pieces. Don't try to achieve too much too soon. Be patient. Progress at the rate the learner can manage. Consider your teaching process. Create a clear learning program. Make the material matter. Deliver the session with purpose and passion. Have a learner-centered focus. Reinforce with repetition and feedback. Prioritize your content. Prioritizing is vital in teaching. This is the process of determining what is the most important in terms of what to include and leave out of a training session. Ask yourself, what does the student need to know now? What do they need to know next to be able to progress safely through my learning program? Keep it safe. Conduct a risk assessment. Step 1, identify hazards. Step 2, assess risks. Step 3, control risks. And step 4, review control measures. Assessor's checklist. The next few pages will outline the assessment criteria that assessors use with the training instructors. First of all, verbal and non-verbal communication techniques such as asking relevant and appropriate questions, providing explanations, demonstrating, using listening skills, and providing information clearly. Road rules. Relevant road rules and regulations for each driving task are identified and clarified when driving with a learner driver. Road rules are explained and demonstrated to the learner driver, and obeying road rules, making safe decisions in stressful situations, and instructing learner drivers to take appropriate action. Time management skills. These include ensure all learning objectives are covered and pacing the learning. Safety skills. Training is conducted in a safe and accessible environment. Conduct pre-startup checks if required. Observe and interpret learner behaviour that may put other people at risk. Dealing with and adjusting to diverse driving environments. Identifying hazards and human factors that may impact on driving situations, and implementing responsive, safe driving practices. Modifying activities depending on operational contingencies, risk situations, and environments. Interpersonal skills to engage, motivate, and connect with learners. Provide constructive feedback, maintain appropriate relationships, establish trust, use appropriate body language, maintain humour, demonstrate tolerance, recognise and be sensitive to individual difference and diversity, making correct response judgments, and training, facilitating, learning, and demonstrating skills in the development of safe driving behaviours using a learner-centred approach. Observation skills to monitor learner acquisition of new skills, knowledge, and competency requirements. Assess learner communication and skills in interacting with others. Identify learner concerns. Recognise learner readiness to take on new skills and tasks. Reflection skills in order to identify areas for improvement and maintain personal skill development. How can I best prepare for the skills assessment? There are heaps of tutorials on various topics at the Watto Training YouTube channel. These are designed to help you prepare yourself for assessment as well as a starting point in the industry. Look at other YouTube channels as well that help you prepare for assessment. Remember this is free education. Practice. I would strongly encourage you to practice your driving skills, maneuvers, commentary drive, and instructional skills prior to assessment. This can be done every time you drive your car, truck, motorcycle, or bus. If you don't have teaching, training, or coaching experience, you need to get your voice going. Common error. Some applicants turn up for assessment only to reveal they are completely unprepared for the driving and/or instructing assessment. This is highly discouraged. Applicants need to take the responsibility to turn up for the assessment well prepared. That means making sure they have brushed up on their road rules, driving skills, maneuvers, and instructing techniques. If you are not prepared for assessment, it could cost you more money in reassessment. Think of it this way. Would Roger Federer turn up to a tennis tournament unprepared? No, of course not. Federer has won 20 Grand Slam singles titles. If the best male tennis player prepares for a tournament, applicants can prepare for their course. If that's not something you're prepared to commit to, this isn't the course for you. That sounds pretty harsh, but we've had people turn up with no idea what they're doing, and it's embarrassing and it's awkward and it's a waste of time. So if you want to do it, give it 100%. Make sure you can do a commentary drive. A commentary drive is where you describe in words what you are observing in the road environment and how you are responding to mitigate dangers on the road. A large part of a commentary drive is identifying hazards and describing your responses to them. Spotting a hazard in time to take suitable evasive action and avoid a crash is an essential part of safe driving and instructing. Practice, practice, practice. I can't stress it enough. It doesn't matter what the subject, differences in student performance is affected by how much they engage in deliberate practice. Researchers who have investigated expert and novice performance have uncovered important distinctions between deliberate practice and other activities such as play or repetition. Deliberate practice is not the same as rote repetition. Rote repetition, simply repeating the task, will not by itself improve performance. Deliberate practice involves attention, rehearsal, and repetition and leads to new knowledge and/or skills that can be later developed into more complex knowledge and skills. Practice is important for teaching and learning in at least 5 ways. 1. Practice greatly increases the likelihood that students will permanently remember new information. 2. Practice increases a student's ability to learn and apply elements of knowledge automatically without reflection. It means being able to do it without thinking about it. This is achieved through extensive rehearsal and repetition. It also frees up students' cognitive resources, that's thinking resources, to handle more challenging tasks. When students practice solving problems, they increase their ability to transfer practice skills to new and more complex problems. This is true in childhood and adult years. Number 4, practice helps students acquire expertise in subject matter and therefore it helps to distinguish novices from experts in given subjects. 5. Cognitive gains from practice often bring about motivation for more learning. By cognitive, we are referring to the process such as thinking, reasoning, and remembering. Question: I have prior experience qualifications. Is this taken into account? Watto Training will assess pathways for applicants who may already hold knowledge, skills, and qualifications from previous current fields of work. In such cases, the applicant may be eligible for recognition of prior learning. What is recognition of prior learning, and does it apply to me? Recognition of prior learning is a process that allows the competencies you already possess to be recognised regardless of how you obtain them. These might include skills you picked up on the job or from other life experiences that do not necessarily include formal training. Recognition of prior learning suits people who have industry-relevant work skills or knowledge, paid or unpaid work experience, life experience, community work experience. Recognition of prior learning could provide you with a full or part qualification and avoid duplication of training. It could be used to identify what training you may need to complete a qualification, or could provide a pathway to higher qualifications for people who may not have access to further training. What is credit transfer? Credit transfer recognises previous formal learning, e.g. university or other qualifications. It uses an assessment of a previous course or subject that an applicant has achieved to determine whether it can be credited to the new course in which the applicant wishes to enrol. The assessment determines the extent to which your previous course or subject is equivalent to the required learning outcomes of the desired qualification. RPL and credit transfer. Please contact Watto Training if you wish to apply for either of these. For more information, please contact Watto Training and consider subscribing to the Watto Training YouTube channel for tips and strategies on what it takes to be a driver trainer. Thank you for watching.